So controlling the schedule, just like controlling the scope, is about making sure that our time is good. We don't have overruns. If we do, we're communicating it out and we're getting more time. We're performing this process throughout the entire project lifecycle. Right? All of these monitoring and controlling processes, we're doing them all throughout. All right, so we see here we have a specific output now in terms of schedule forecast, because you can't really forecast scope, but you can forecast schedule in terms of time, and you can forecast your budget in terms of cost. So we get the forecast here, but then the same generic outputs. Right. So let's take a look. All right, the key outputs, work performance information, and we're going to talk about schedule variance and schedule performance index at earned value management coming up next. We have forecast, those are outputs. And maybe we have change requests, who knows? Okay, but that work performance information you see there at the bottom, that work performance information, these are inputs into monitor and control project work that I showed you earlier. That way the output is a work performance report that becomes an input to manage communications, and then the output is a project communication. So, sort of starts from the team to then you controlling this and having information, to then you taking it to generating report and then reporting out. All right, the inputs you need the management plan, you need the baselines, and then you need any work performance data. You need that data, you need the actual progress. The only people that can give this to us are the team members. You need these numbers, durations, percentage complete, whatever it may be. They need to provide you with this so that you may then go and analyze that information. All right, we see a burn down chart that shows like each week we should be getting so much work done. And if we plan it out and our team works perfectly like machines, right, this would be ideal. But then you see the chart of what's actually happening, right, where sometimes we don't complete as much as we do. Sometimes we do more than we thought. And then based on how we've been performing historically, we can forecast if things stay the same today, we're going to finish, 1.5 periods longer. If we could somehow, get back to here and maybe get that line down to here, then we might be able to finish sooner. All right, so that's what you do. We'll look at earned value analysis to help us with that. This is an iteration burn down chart. Performance reviews, that is really just you looking at the performance of the people doing the work and how quickly we've done. Trend analysis, this is you looking at these lines, looking at the lines and seeing what the line's doing. Don't overthink that one. Then the variance analysis, this is you being able to tell the story that right here in period 4, we should have had this much done, but we only got that much done. Why? You need to be able to tell the story. So that's the analysis of the variance between these two spots. Can you tell the story? All right, so that's your variance analysis. And then what if scenario analysis is, what if we brought 2 more people onto the team to get some work so that way we can get this dot to be here next time? What if 2 of our people take vacation and now we're going to finish at period 12? All right, so that's just the what if scenario analysis. Exactly what it sounds like. Now these are the tools and techniques that we can use to bring the schedule back into play. Now, if you remember, we saw this in day 2, in the beginning when we developed the schedule. We had resource optimization techniques, right? So we had leveling and smoothing. Remember, if you level out a resource, it does not care about that deadline. Do we remember that? No, we don't. So I'm going to show you one more time. Oh, no, sorry. Okay, you remember this that I showed you? Oops, this one here. I'm sorry, I need to move this out the way. There we go. Can I make this larger? Okay, Resource optimization techniques. One way that we can pull the schedule, you know, sort of control the schedule is to level out resources. The other way is to smooth out resources. And remember, leveling will push out the schedule. It does not care about the hard deadline. It'll first look to level up. Don't forget that. It'll first look to fill in anything that's there, and then it'll create consistent periods. Or smoothing does care about your hard deadline. It will not let the schedule slip. And so therefore, these discretionary activities, that's why the question mark is there. Maybe we can do those earlier. Maybe we can move them up and sort of smooth out the peaks and valleys. All right, so those are different ways that we can control the schedule. Oops. All right, we can do that. We can have schedule compression techniques. We can fast track and start doing activities out of order, doing them in parallel. Fast track, does that cost you money or does that increase your risk?
Increase your risk.
Crashing then, does that increase your risk or does that cost you money?
Cost you money.
Cost you money. Crashing cost, fast tracking increases your risk, right? And you can use those techniques also to compress the schedule and bring back. And sometimes you have some leads and lags. What does a lag mean?
You're doing it later.
Doing what later though?
A task. Starting.
Okay, if I have two tasks, good. If I have two tasks, would the lead or the lag refer to the predecessor activity or to the successor activity?
The lead would refer to the predecessor.
Yes, sir.
Always the successor.
Always the successor.
Always the successor. So here's the idea. Here is the idea. If, oh, well, I'd have to stop the share in order to spotlight that video. So if per se, I have two activities, predecessor, successor, finish to start relationship. If I want to import a lead and start it sooner, then it always refers to the successor activity because then I'm going to start the successor activity a little bit sooner. So this would be a lead. If I want to employ a lag, then I'm going to start that successor activity much later.
So a lead and
right?
a verb, not a noun.
Exactly. Lead and lags are verbs, not nouns. Thank you for identifying that. And these things always point back to the successor activity.